Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today. This is our weekly show where we inspire, educate, and empower you through life's transitions. And each week on this show, I bring on the coolest, most awesome, amazing entrepreneurs, experts, leaders, influencers, and truly life changers who've gone through their own reinventions and came out on the other side successful. And they come on this show and share their stories with us. And tonight I am so excited to present to you my guest, who is a friend. She is a mentor. I look up to her. I admire her and respect her so much. And her name is Diana Sabatino. Diana, welcome to the show.
Thank you. So excited to be here. Thanks, Di.
I am so excited to have you on the show. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the audience, what our theme of the show is, what our intention is, and then I'm going to tell them a little bit about you and your amazing career, what you're doing right now, and how you are doing what you're doing in terms of another shift and a pivot in your life, which is so fantastic, which people want to know about. So what we're doing this week, the theme of the show is this: reinventing your career at any age. It does not matter how old you are or what you've done in the past. It is never, ever too late to make a change in your career. You don't, the excuses of, I don't have the time, I'm too old, it'll cost too much money, I've invested too much in the past, yada, yada, yada. All of those are limiting beliefs. It is never too late to make a change, because if you're not happy in doing something that you love to do and waking up every day, jumping out of your bed, excited about your life, you're missing your life. So it's time to take a look at this, and that's what we're going to do today. All right. So our intention for the show is this: I have today to do what I love and love what I do. I have today to do what I love and love what I do. And Diana Sabatino is an example of somebody who's doing this. And she does many, many things, which I'm about to share with you. And it's a testament to the fact that you must live your passion and purpose and find out what it is, whatever that might be, however you need to do it, and go after it with a vengeance, right? All right, so let me tell you a little bit about Diana. With over 30 years of experience in sales and management positions, 15 plus years with corporations developing, designing, and delivering training, and as a director of sales and management training for Fortune 100 companies, both domestic and internationally, Diana has spent, hang on, honey, I lost my place here, has spent over 30 years in sales and management positions, including those companies. And she's also owned her own brick and mortar design and jewelry company with beautiful, which I actually own a few pieces, beautiful custom-made pieces. She's a diamond expert as well. And now she's pivoting her life again to owning her own training and sales development company, which is called Excel Performance, which we're going to talk about. She is a highly successful and accomplished entrepreneur and has a passion for helping entrepreneurs. She's pivoted 3 times and proves that it's never too late to make a change. She's also the managing director of one of the largest women networking groups in the country, and she's got an incredible singing voice. So when I tell you this woman is a multifaceted diamond, she sure is. So pun is totally intended. so Di, it's the Di and Di show. I love that.
I know, I do too. I am so, first of all, thank you for that wonderful introduction.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Well, you're so accomplished. Well, good. All right. So what I want to do with what we do here is I want you to share your story. I mean, our audience, our listeners and our viewers really want to know how you became an expert at what you do. So what is your story?
Wow. Well, I think I've always been in sales. As an only child, I think I always was selling, because even when my parents and I would go on vacation, I always had to go and find those friends, right? I didn't come with a group of, brothers and sisters. So I had to always go find my tribe. So I guess
Oh,
I've
wow.
always been selling in some ways. But my business career, I started in corporate America, and worked my way up through the ranks, from a sales executive and to heading up the training department of a Fortune 100 company. And when that company no longer existed, because, well, they actually got bought, so my job no longer existed, I actually started a consulting company, and that's what brought me to overseas, where I worked with a organization, an international company, ESAT Telecom, and start doing training and sales development for them.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
so it was in corporate. I think it was very interesting to be in corporate America as a woman, and I always did very well. I was very fortunate in that way. But when I transitioned into my own business, when I started to do the consulting internationally, I think that's when I really started to realize what it takes to really run a business. I think sometimes in corporate, we have so many resources given to us. That's when it really started to come into play for me.
yes, and you're right, because there's nobody there to turn to. You've got to figure it all out, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
And
So,
throughout my time, it's always been, things have just sort of happened. Like, I was with the corporation for over 13 years. And when they got bought by WorldCom, my job no longer existed. I got my little golden parachute. And within 3 days, I was in a new position. I got an actual knock on the door. I had lost my job at MCI, and took my golden parachute. And I was at my home in Las Vegas at the time. I had a rental property there, which my renter had moved out. So I went there just to redo the lease. And on that day, an old boss's wife knocked on my door. He was in the UK with a company, and the next thing I knew, I was an international consultant. So it just sort of transitioned.
yes.
Go
Don't you love the way the universe works? One
Yeah,
door shut and the other one opened right up. Wow.
definitely.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
think with me, and I was with ESAT. I went international, so I went to Ireland for 3 years, and I had an opportunity to build that company and be a part of the building of that company. When I started there, they had about 60 people, and when I left, they had close to 800. So in 3 years, the company grew at an amazing rate.
Exponentially.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
And they actually got bought also by Lucent Technologies. So then my job then came back to the States. And I just did consulting with companies here throughout North America. And I was traveling quite a bit. And I had just gotten married. And I'd been gone like literally 9 months the first year I was married, with traveling back and forth. And my husband said, you got to kind of figure something else out, because this isn't working for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when I moved into the jewelry business.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Well, that was something that I had done in the past. When I was in school, I managed jewelry stores to pay my way through school. And so when this occurred, I thought, well, that might be something I might be interested in doing. So I spoke with my jeweler and decided to open up a little silver shop, and which I did. And that silver shop, in a matter of about 18 months, went from selling silver to custom designing 18 karat, 14 karat gold rings, brokering diamonds, and it just exploded.
Yes.
And I spent the last 13 years in the jewelry business, having my own brick and mortar.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and your designs are beautiful. I think I have 3 or 4 Diana Sabatino original designs. I love your pieces. So
thank you.
All right, so 13 years doing that, and now
13
you
years doing that.
just pivoted again, and you're
Yeah.
just launching your brand new baby.
Yes.
So let's talk about Excel Performance.
Okay. Well, interesting enough, my background was training and sales development when I was in corporate, and then when I did the consulting. So it's not brand new, but it is a brand new business now. As you said, was in the jewelry for 13 years and now moving back into this. And the reason that I really decided that I was going to make that pivot was, I had taken over eWomen a few years back, and I work with about 140 women entrepreneurs we have in our chapter. And Diane's a part of our eWomen chapter as well, for those of you that don't know. And one of the things that I find is I'm talking to all these amazing entrepreneurs and small business owners, and then we have some intrapreneurs, people that have, whether they're an MLM or they're a business owner within an organization where they're running their own show. Sales always seems to be an area that gives people a challenge.
Yes.
And yeah, right.
Yeah.
And without sales, you really don't have a business. So I thought, well, gee, this is something that I can help them with. And I can actually make a great impact. I could do something to help the people that I love and that I support. And as well as I can start something new and fresh that really fulfills me. Although the jewelry was a great business and still is a great business, I love my clients. I love doing the designs. It just wasn't fulfilling to me. I felt like I had more to offer, I had more to give, and that I really wasn't living my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something I really wanted to, my mantra right now, my mantra is to live my purpose and thrive.
Yes.
So, that's kind of where I want to go with this new company, is to be able to help not only the entrepreneurs, but still help corporate America, help small business owners with their sales, with negotiation skills, presentation skills, leadership, management, to really help them excel and elevate their business and their business opportunities.
Right. Which I love the eclectic. Wait, there's an echo. Can you hear that?
I can't hear it.
Can you hear it? Okay. You can't hear the echo? Oh, there, it's gone. All right. So what I love about your background is it's eclectic, and everything that you've done, all of that experience lends itself into what you're doing now, and you've gotten a lot of different experience, diverse experience, where you've worked with very large corporations, even international. You've done the jewelry business, which is a more personal experience, right? And you are, like everything you said, with training, sales, negotiation, presentation skills, you've done all of that. And entrepreneurs, that's where your focus is, although you'll work with corporations as well, but where your heart is with entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs get into business because of usually their creative side, right? That's what it is. It's about that building side of the brain, that's right side brain thinking. And we need the left side of the brain thinking as well to make the business run. And you're so right. If you're not selling, you don't have a business, or you're not going to be in business for long. And it's so important. And there's such a stigma. I've noticed this in my work as well, related to how people feel about sales. They think it's icky or sleazy, and it's not. The Latin definition is service. So but it is a skill. And it's so great that you're training people in that, those core skill sets that are needed to really scale a business and grow a business and keep it sustainable. So, yes.
So I think that's the key too, is first of all, the good news is these skills and these skills that you need are not innate. They're not something that you're born with. So they are trainable. They're things that you can learn very easily. So that's one great thing. The second great thing, I think, is if someone is able to give you a structure, a formula that you can follow, then you'll feel more comfortable. Therefore, it helps your confidence because you become more competent at the things that you're doing. And when you see better results, it no longer feels like you're selling. It feels like what it should is that you are doing something for someone. You are providing them some kind of transition, whether they're having a challenge and they're having a problem. I had a woman the other day that just said to me, she goes, well, I called one of my clients and they said, business is great and they don't have any challenges. They don't have any problems. And how am I supposed to help them? And I said to her, I said, well, that's when you turn to them and say, that's great. I'm so glad your business is growing. What strategies, what things you're going to be needing to put in place? What changes, what pivots are you going to be doing in your business that you're going to need to address? And how can I help you?
Yes.
Now that's a conversation, right?
Right.
And that's really what sales is. It's just a conversation. It's taking an interest in the other party and finding out more about what's going on in their environment, in their life, good things, bad things, what's happening, and thinking of how you can assist them. And if you can bring something to the table, it's not selling, it's helping. I'm helping them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, you are. All right. So what I want to talk about is the actual pivots and the reinventing of your career, because this is something that comes up for so many people, that there's so much fear related to that, connected with that, making that change. And now you've done it several times. So what piece of advice could you give somebody who's thinking about making a career change, or at least for you? You knew that the jewelry business wasn't fulfilling for you anymore, but what was that? What transpired that made you go, all right, I'm going to start my own business. This is the direction I want to move. Where can you offer some support to the audience there?
Well, two things. First, I think for me, and I'm going to throw this to my husband a little bit, because he used to come to the store and say, it's a wonder that everybody always buys the diamonds here, because they get a lot more than diamonds. They get business advice. They get someone looking at their resumes. They get someone that helps them with strategies. I think I was always doing training and helping automatically. So I think if you're finding yourself that not only are you not fulfilled in what you're doing, but what are the things that people are telling you that you do best? And I think sometimes we're in fear of making that change, and other people are looking at us going, oh my God, you're perfect to do that. That's exactly what you do. I can so see you moving in that direction, that they have more belief in us sometimes than we do ourselves. But I think it's really taken that, really taken a minute to evaluate, what's the cost of your happiness? Because if your heart isn't being fulfilled every day, you really owe it to yourself to make that change. And all those things sometimes are scary. If you think about it, every day we're constantly pivoting, we're constantly evolving, we're constantly making changes and shifts, whether that's making a change to pick up your kid at a different time. But there's always these little shifts and pivots in our life that we don't think too much about. We just do them. And I think in some ways, we have to look at what our heart is telling us. And if it's telling us to make that shift, we need to not give it as much thought and follow the lead of what our heart is telling us to do, right? Yeah. Life's too short. Life's too short.
Well said. Well said. Beautiful. All right. Well, I want to give a little shout out to eWomen, because that's how we met. You are the managing director of the OC chapter, which is in Orange County. I live in San Diego. I drive up every month to attend it. It's a phenomenal organization, and this group is one of the largest, right? Of the, how many chapters?
118, and we just opened up 2 international in Australia. So
amazing.
Yeah.
So you've been the managing director for 3 years now? Is it
2 and a half?
2.5 years, right? Yeah. And how has that contributed to the success of your business? Being a part of it, first of all, running the group, and also being a part of the group.
Well, I think that as well has been extremely fulfilling for me. When I had my brick and mortar, I would close my store on Thursdays to go to the event and to be a part of that, because it was so important to me. I think as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, or even if you're an entrepreneur or you're working within a corporation, you still need to have that support system. You need to have that community, that tribe, those people that are the ones that are going to help lift you up and take you to where you want to go, and be those resources for you. Community is really so important. The relationships that we make not only will sustain us, but I think will really help us rise in no matter what our business is. We all need to hear people telling us we're great and people that believe in us, right?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. But eWomen has been for my business, when I had the jewelry store, it was a great way for me to connect with my ideal client. But I think now as the managing director, it's given me a great platform within the community. It's allowed me to really do a lot more within the community. eWomen also has a really strong philanthropic arm, as you know, and we're all about giving back. And I think as entrepreneurs too, we all want to have that legacy, something that we're actually contributing to and giving back to. I think that's a big part of who a lot of us are as entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Yeah. So I love that. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I love it too. Like I said, I drive up from San Diego every month to attend because it's such a great organization and community, and it's always, it's the connections, the relationships, the speakers, the content, all of it, the give back, all of it is and community. Really, we all need that community. You're right. The having people that believe in us.
Well,
okay.
As women coming in, or business owners, when you do come in, you're looking for people to connect with. So, yes. And I think that connection is so important.
Yes. Okay. All right. So what we do on the show is we always give 3 tips, strategies, ways to help us. So today, for reinventing your career at any age, what we're going to do is we're going to give 3 types of advice. And this is straight from Diana Sabatino. So I'm going to share them with you, and we're going to talk about it because they're great pieces of advice. Okay, so number 1 is self-advice, and it is believe in yourself and surround yourself with doers and believers. So, Di, you want to expand on that a little bit?
Well, I think that goes back to community, is really making sure that you're making those connections. And, it's kind of like when we were in high school and your parents would say, be careful about who you hang out with the right crowd, right?
Yes.
There's a lot to be said for that. I think it was Jim Rohn that said, the 5 people that you spend the most time with really is who you become, right?
Yes.
So I think that your self-advice of really making sure that you are taking care of you and that you are surrounding yourself with those right people that can help you in your business and in your life and support you.
Yeah, I think what I would add on to that is with that self-advice, to trust your judgment, listen to that inner voice, and if something feels like a strong connection, great. And if there's something that doesn't feel right, to trust that as well, right? That's important.
100%.
Yes.
100%. I know my dad always used to tell me, he'd say, I think anytime I wanted to try anything or I wanted to do something and I was, well, what if that doesn't work out? Or I'm a little afraid to make that change. He always used to tell me, what's the worst case scenario? What's the worst thing that could happen? Right?
Right.
You make a mistake, it doesn't work out, you don't like it, right? So you make a mistake. He said, so you learned something, He said, you got smarter. So he used to tell me, go out there, Diane, learn something and get smarter every day, right?
Wow.
And it didn't matter whether you were successful at it or you made a mistake, one way or the other, you were still going to learn and you still were going to get smarter.
That is so great. I love that. If there are parents out there, tell your kids that. Go out and get smarter. Truly.
Yes.
Beautiful thing. Yeah, I don't even believe in mistakes. I think everything is a lesson along the way. Just is,
100%.
right? Yeah.
100%. Everybody has rocky roads, nobody has gone straight up, everybody's kind of done this,
Yes.
in their life, in their business, and that's okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's how we learn. Okay, so the second one is business advice. And your advice is just do it. Focus on who you serve and the transformations. Because here's the thing, the money will come, right? Right? We don't want to be chasing the money. Mm-hmm.
I think if your focus is your money, your focus is your product or your service, you're just not going to win, not all the time. You might win some of the time, but it's not going to be a fun win either. That's all you're doing. You're just being persistent. You're just throwing out your product or service. If you're talking about transformations, that kind of goes back to the sales side of what we were talking about of really helping, right? So how did I help? What transformation is going to happen to that client? And the same thing for your own business. What's your transformation? Kind of what's your objective? What's your intention in your business? Where do you want to see this business go? And what are you willing to do? How committed are you? What are you willing to do to make sure that that intention or that objective actually comes to fruition?
Right.
And, I other than singing, I also like to play poker. So I think sometimes you just have to push all in, and say, this is what I got to do.
Yes. I love that. And I agree with that. And I think that the just do it mantra is powerful. You are never going to be totally ready. You learn as you go. So much of it is just doing it and learning through the experience. And so that is strong advice as well. And it's so funny, you said something about the intention. With my work, and especially this week, I coached. When I was coaching this week, I'm an intentional living expert. I set intentions all the time, but I really intend before the day starts I focus on all of my clients, who I'm going to talk to, what I want for them. I want to present my best self and be able to serve them in the highest, greatest way and set that intention, because it's not just, you're right, it's not just about them too. Yes, it's about giving them, but it's about me feeling fulfilled in what I'm doing as well, and holding myself up to that and bringing it, bringing it too. So, and the way you do that is to just do it. You just got to do it. So, all right. So the third piece of advice is spiritual advice. And that is listen to your heart. Know that it will lead you. Only do the things that make you happy and fulfill your soul. Amen, sister.
Yeah, I think that, and I think it's the hardest thing. And, we can go through these three pieces and it's a lot easier said than done, as it's said, but it's true. We all have that voice in our head that's saying, what if, and oh my, and can I do it? And am I good enough? And we all have those. Whether I had an amazing childhood and nothing that I that sticks out in my brain as a tragedy. But we all, I don't care who you are in your life, when you've had your ups and downs, because the road has been like this, we all realize there are downs with ups. So
Right.
it's a lot easier to believe a negative than it is a positive, right?
Yes.
And so I think that spiritually, in knowing what your heart is telling you, what are the things that make you the happiest? When do you feel the most fulfilled, the most at peace, and the thing that makes you smile? And if it doesn't make you smile to get up every day and do what you're doing, then you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. You need to be looking at what other things can I do, because as we said in the very beginning, we don't know what life's going to bring us. We don't know when our expiration date is.
Right.
And we don't. So we want to make sure that we do live every day for today. I have today, right? We do want to live every day for today, and we want to live a fulfilled day and a fulfilled life. And we want to have something that when that day does come, that there's no regret, that we've done the things that we wanted to do, and we've helped people, and we've made an impact, right? And I think that's all everybody wants to do, is just to make a difference, make an impact, and do something worthwhile.
Right. And be seen and heard and appreciated and acknowledged as well, too, and everybody wants to do great work. Nobody goes into anything thinking they want to be average or subpar, right? Everybody wants to do great work. And if you're not feeling that love, and it's not feeding your soul, you're not going to be presenting your best. So you should be pursuing that, like I said, in the intention of the show, do what you love and love what you do it's so true. And that is the spiritual aspect of it, really feeding your soul. So, yeah.
And this is spiritual too. It doesn't necessarily, it can be God, it can be Buddha, it can be your heart, it can be anything. So.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, Diana, how do you live the I Have Today way?
How do I live the I Have Today way? I think just never being really afraid to try. I think about all the things that have transformed in my life, and and I've had a lot of great opportunities, but I think those opportunities were, because of the work that I had done.
Yes.
But I think, it's just not being afraid to jump and do what you really love to do, or try something. And like my dad said, what's the worst thing? And I think about that all the time. Every time I take a step or I take a chance, I think about him, and I think about what he would tell me. And I think that's it, is just really living your dream, living the things that make you happy. You have to focus inside. Like a lot of people say, well, focusing on helping other people, and that's fine. But as long as that's fulfilling you, because number one, you have to fulfill yourself first before you can help anyone else, before you can make a difference or an impact anywhere else in life.
So true. So true. Thank you for sharing that. Well, so can you please let the audience know if they want to find out more information about you, or is there anything special you would like to offer?
Well, with Excel Performance, I'm just launching the company, and I'm going to be doing some workshops in January. And I have a 5-step process that I'm going to be working through. So if anyone is interested in hearing more about it, I'm going to offer a 30-minute strategy session. And they can email me at Diana@Excel Performance, and it's EXSELL, like cell, Performance. And email me, and let's get in touch with one another. I'll set up a 30-minute strategy session with you, see if I can help or assist you in any way. And of course, keep you updated on what's happening with the workshops.
That's wonderful. Okay, well, we're going to have a comment, the information to email Diana in our comments section here, and it's Diana@excelperformance.com. And again, Excel is EXSELL. So look for that there. And is there any, what?
I was going to say one other thing for eWomen Network. If you are an entrepreneur out there or a small business owner and you're in the Orange County area, or you're willing to drive over to the Orange County area in Costa Mesa, we have events every month, and check us out on our Facebook page at EWN Orange County, and you'll be able to see all the events, and I hope to see all of you there.
That's so great. Well, you'll see me there. Yeah, it is a wonderful, wonderful networking group, and it's definitely worth looking into. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being on the show. And what I'd like to end with the audience is I have something to share with you as well. So much of what happens with women, people in general, but particularly women who are in the process of going through the reinvention of themselves, is they feel stuck. They feel overwhelmed. They feel a lack of confidence. They don't know what they want. They're not sure what they're passionate about or what their purpose is. And so I have developed a 10 Days to Your Passion and Purpose program. It's an online program. It's 10 videos, 10 journal exercises for 10 days for $10. Simple, simple, simple. So in 10 short days, you can have all the clarity, focus, and direction that you need. So we're going to have a link for that as well. It is available at ihavetoday.com. So look for that there. And Diana, any final words before we sign off, my sweet friend?
Just to you, first of all, thank you so much. And you really do live the I Have Today intention in your life and in your business. And I'm so proud of what you've built. I'm so looking forward to December 1st. I'm going to be with you on Saturday for your one-day workshop. So I'm excited about participating in that. And again, if you haven't heard Diane speak and talk about her services, you need to. So you should put down when you're speaking next. What's going on?
Oh, I will. Yeah, we'll put some links. I'm speaking. Well, I'm hosting an event here in my home on December 1st. So if you want to find out information about that, info@Diane Forster, shoot me an email, and my team and I will get back to you. And then I'm speaking in Chicago on January 6th at the Sparkle Women Empowerment Conference. So that's coming up. That's the most immediate thing coming up. And yeah, there's a few more things, but we'll put all that information in the podcast page on my website at dianeforster.com. We'll have all that information there, information about Diana Sabatino, how to get a hold of her, and you connect with her so you can have a complimentary strategy session with her as well. And I want to say thank you so much for being here. It has been a pleasure having you on the show. And thank you all for your comments here and your likes. And that's it for this week's episode of I Have Today, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.